Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy's back! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well on this Monday evening. It is 7:08 p.m. here in New South Wales, and all I got to say, lads, is the footy is back, baby! Let's go! The footy's back. Tonight, I am joined by ProEnzo Vidz and CJ MOXLEY. I'll start with you first, ProEnzo Vidz, mate. How the hell are you?
Yeah, bro, I'm good, and yeah, like you said, come on the footy, eh? You know, 3 days to go till the Super League starts, and yeah, far out, not far now.
Friday morning, it all begins, 7 a.m. in New South Wales, so we'll all be up for it. And CJ, mate, it's good to have you on the channel once again. Mate, how the hell are you going?
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me on. I'm feeling great, man. Ready for the footy. Been waiting too long for it. It's great to have it back.
Mate, the weekends have been very empty without the footy. I got to say, it's been very boring. I'm really sick and tired of betting on the horses and the dogs and the greyhounds. So I can all get stuffed now. All my betting will be going on the footy now. So looking forward to the multis and all that happening again soon. But before we get into tonight's live stream, which is going to be the Super League 2022 season preview, make sure you guys go ahead and like this live stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. It's much appreciated. And also go and check out the YouTube channels of ProEnzo Vidz and CJ MOXLEY. The link for their YouTube channels are in the description below. And also want to say hello to the chat. Hello to Paddy G. Hello to Josh Plays Cricket. Warriors NRL Fanatics is here. Rugby League Roundup is here as well. We've got the great Sam Revel as well in the live chat as well. Good to see Sam in the chat. Hello to CJ MOXLEY. He's calling you the GOAT, CJ.
Yes, Paddy.
So Jason Reader says he got his booster today. Fuck that. But good for you, bro. Good for you. But wowee. The Super League season, fellas, it's literally happening. It all kicks off on Friday morning. I cannot wait. And I just want to say this off the bat. I'm just saying, everyone, block your ears if you have earphones in. Let me just say this. The Super League is back!
Yes.
Fuck yeah! Finally!
Oh,
Fucking finally! It's
get around it.
time. It's about fucking time.
We'll be up right
back. The All-Star Game's on Saturday night. The footy's back. It's all happening. February is underway. March is very close. Footy's back. The world is good again. Fuck the restrictions. The world's good again, boys. How good is it?
We just need footy and we're all good.
That's all we need, boys. All we need. I don't care if we're in lockdown again. I'll genuinely just watch the footy all day. That's all I care
exactly,
about.
bro.
I'm so pumped. So pumped. But without further ado, let's get into let's get into the live stream, guys. So it's going to be the Super League 2022 season preview. And ProEnzo Vidz, mate, I want to start with you. I want to ask you by saying, what are you expecting to see from the Super League this year? Are you expecting a close competition? Do you think the big teams like Saints and Catalans will be the dominant sides, or do you think it's going to be a more open year than what it has been in previous years?
Yeah, I still think it'll be the same. Like, I still think, you got St. Helens, Warrington Rhinos, and the Dragons will all be up there again. Like, there's no doubt those teams will make up the four probably. Maybe from like 6th to maybe 9th, that's where it could be a bit more open, because I believe from there, between those two positions, there's a lot that could change and a lot that could happen. So, I think it'll still be a similar season. I still think it's going to be, there'll be change, but not too much, in my opinion.
What about you, CJ, mate? What are you expecting to see from the Super League season this year?
I'm expecting the top four to be relatively close. I think it's going to be a close top four. I think the last two positions it'll be. I think the sixth spot will be wide open this year. I'm expecting a bit more of a fast-paced game, and I'm looking forward to the Super League. I think it's going to a new level this year, and I can't wait.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to a new level this year, and we talk about Saints and Wigan and Warrington and Leeds and all these sort of sides, being the favourites, but I reckon it's a really wide open season this year. I reckon there's about 7 teams that could win Super League this year. I think it's a very open season. I think it's quite unpredictable this year as well. But without further ado, fellas, let's get into it. Now, before we get into the season previews, we're gonna preview each team individually. But before we get into that, I want to get into this top try score prediction for the season. So there's so many guys you could choose for top try score. You could choose wingers, fullbacks, centers. Who knows? It's so open. But I want to start with you, CJ Moxley.
Yep.
Who do you think will be the top try scorer for the Super League in 2022? What's your prediction for this one?
I'm going with the St. Helens winger, Regan Grace. And I think he'll score exactly 19 tries. I think he's going to get a lot of ball this season. I think he's going to be phenomenal this season. He's going to go to a whole new level. I think he could potentially be probably the best winger in the game this year. And I'm really looking forward to see how he plays. I think he's going to go over that corner line so much this year.
There's so many guys you could choose for top try scorer too.
It's such an elite team as well.
What's that?
Him being in such an elite team as well, it's going to give him – it's his time to shine now with Nagama gone. So.
Well, no doubt about it. I mean, when you're playing with the likes of Johnny Lomax and Jack Wellesby and Mark Percival and all these sort of players, then obviously you're going to get a lot of good service. So,
yeah,
Regan Grace, I know it's a bit of a boring prediction because everyone's going, oh, Saints again, blah, blah, blah. But we all know Saints are going to be the team to beat. They're a dominant force. They are the back-to-back champions for a reason. They did a three-peat. They're looking to win 4 in a row. They're going to be the team to beat this year. And Regan Grace for top try scorer would not surprise me at all. What about you, ProEnzo Vidz? What do you reckon for top try scorer? Who do you like?
Well, I was going to say the same because he scores pretty much every game, Grace, and I think he's a shout. Someone that I think might actually go well in the Super League. He came from the NRL, he came from the Warriors, and he's entering the Super League this year. I reckon Fusatua is a bit of a smoky. I reckon he actually is a smoky. David Fusatua might get back to his best form. Again, over in England, we've seen so many times that players who go over to England and often find their best. So Fusatua is a bit of a smoky for mine. I reckon he's a fair chance of scoring a couple this year. You got, I reckon Crute will score a couple this year for Hull KR. There's a couple up there that I really think can score quite a bit. So they're the main 3 from what I can think of.
Well, I just went on to the on Sportsbet, the Super League regular season top try scorer odds, and believe it or not, Regan Grace is $13 to win top try scorer. So very, very good value there. And David Fusatua, ProEnzo Vidz, like you just said, from Leeds, he is paying $17 to be the top try scorer this year. So unbelievable odds. Unbelievable. And also, Ken CO won top try scorer last year, and he is paying $21 to do it again. So unbelievable odds for top try scorer. But for me, I think the top try scorer for season 2022 in the BETFRED Super League, I'm going to go with the Catalan Dragons winger. I'm going to go with Fian Yaha. I can't pronounce his first name. I think Yaha from the Catalan Dragons is going to get a lot of service this year. I think with Mitchell Pearce in the side now replacing James Maloney, I think Yaha is going to get plenty of service. And I think Catalans, especially when they play in France, they're going to be very hard to beat, as they always are. I think Yaha is a really good chance to be top try scorer this year. That's paying $21. So very nice odds there for Yaha. I'll give you guys a bit of a smoky. I think Daryl McIntosh and Jake Mamo are a really good chance. I think they're guys that really going to keep a close eye on.
McIntosh, I'm keeping my eyes on him for Hull FC.
No doubt about it. And also, someone like Jordan Turner as well could be a shout as well. And Yeah, there's so many guys you could really pick for top try scorer this year, but it's going to be an incredible season. So the odds for top try scorer are just absolutely unbelievable. But without further ado, let's get into the preview of some of the teams, shall we, fellas?
Yep. Let's do it.
I'm just going to get up on the screen for you fellas. I'm going to get the squads for some of the sides here, and we're going to start off. First team we're going to preview for season 2022. We're going to keep the theme on the French, and we're going to start off with the Catalan Dragons. We're going to preview them first for season 2022. Now, as you guys can probably tell, this is the Catalan Dragons squad. So obviously a very good squad there. Now, some of the guys that you guys may recognize here, the likes of Dane Farre, guys like Mitchell Pearce, Josh Drinkwater, guys like Dylan Napa come to mind, Tyrone May, Sam Castellano, Sam Tompkins. And then you've got some of the other quality players in the Catalan side, the likes of Tom Davis and Yaha, like I just mentioned, Langy, Arthur Moore, keep an eye on him as well.
Benjamin Garcia, bro.
Benjamin Garcia, but Michael McMeekin. It's a very, very good squad. I think it's a quality team, and I think we all agree Catalans are going to be somewhere in the top 4 this year. But having a look at the Catalan Dragons squad, ProEnzo Vidz, what do you make of their squad?
Oh, the whole 117 is pretty good. It looks very strong. Like when I first looked at that team, I really looked at the forward pack because players like Benjamin Garcia, like CJ said, and Bosquet. It's a pretty decent forward pack with a bit of experience, and it was one that definitely took them to the grand final last year. So I expect them to still replicate the same form as they had last year. The back line is still pretty good. I mean, Dean Vara there for experience, and like you said, I think Fawad Yaha, he'll be in for a good season as well. And Pierce being there as well is going to be pretty big. I think his impact for that squad is going to make them a whole lot better, being obviously the Maloney replacement. So it's a good squad. I really do rate it. It's going to go well, definitely.
What about you, CJ? What are your thoughts on the Catalan Dragons squad?
I really like the back line for Catalans. I think, the likes of Tom Davies, Arthur Morg, Dean Vare, Fawad Yaha. I think that's enough, like try scoring. A lot of tries are going to come down from that back line. I also look at the halves with the experience of Mitchell Pearce and Josh Drinkwater. I think that's a good halves combination to take him, back into a contendership for a premiership. I think the bench is pretty strong, man. I really like the bench.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the likes of Cassiano coming off the bench as well. And Dylan Napa, will he start? Will he be on the bench? I reckon he might be on the bench to start off.
Yeah, from what I hear, he'll be on the bench.
I think he'll be on the bench.
I think Benjamin Garcia is in for a massive year as well. I really rate Benjamin Garcia and Mike Meekin. And, yeah, I'm tipping a big year for Catalans this year, man.
Garcia and McMeekin are quality back rowers. So I think Catalans have got a very good squad here. They're going to be hard to beat this year, especially when they play in France. They're going to be very hard to beat over there. But what's your guys' key player? Now, I think it's between Pearce and Tompkins for their key player this year. Now, I'm going to go with Mitchell Pearce because I think Mitchell Pearce is obviously the organising halfback that they need, and I think he's the main man there. But Sam Tompkins just won the Man of Steel last year. So, who do you guys think the main guy is on Catalans? Is it Pearce or is it Tompkins? What do you reckon, CJ?
I reckon it's Pearce.
Yep.
His game management and experience is going to bring a lot.
Yeah, I'd say Tompkins because, like you said, Nick, he won Man of Steel last year. Can he bring back the same form to the new year? Yeah, I think he's the man to watch, in my opinion.
No doubt about it. I'm just reading the chat. Jay Lockyer says number 10 has a great first name. Yeah, that is Julian Boscute. It's very hard to pronounce. But, Julian Boscute, very, very good player. But I believe Mitchell Pearce will have a great season for the Catalan Dragons, and it should be hard to beat this year. But not many weaknesses in this side. It's a quality team that was so close to winning it all last year, and they just fell short. So we'll see how they go this year. But before we move on, where do you guys think Catalans will finish on the ladder this year in the Super League? I'll start with you, ProEnzo Vidz.
Second place this year.
Second for Catalans, yeah. What about you, CJ?
I'm tipping him to be the league leaders.
first.
I have big raps on Catalans this year. Mitchell Pearce plays a big role in that.
So CJ Moxley reckons Catalans are going to they're going to win the league leaders shield. They're going to win they're going to come first.
Yes, sir.
Well, I reckon they'll come third. I still reckon they'll be a good side this year, but there's two other teams that I see being a little bit better than them. But we'll have to wait and see. I've got Catalans coming third on my predictions, but Catalans, man, very, very good side. So we'll have to wait and see how they go. Season 2022. Let's move on to the Castleford Tigers now. Let's get under the Castleford Tigers team. Now the Tigers, they've got a fairly good squad. I mean, it's a squad that no one's really talking about. No one's really given a lot of hope for Castleford this year. I've pretty much written them off. I can't see Castleford doing a whole lot this year, but could be proven wrong. Now, having a look at their squad, fellas, some of the players that stand out from the NRL from a while ago, you got the likes of Jake Mamo, Bariti Farimio, Paul Mcshane's obviously a notable one from the Super League. Kenny Edwards is still there. George Griffin isn't a name that some guys should know by now. Mahe Fanua, Chase Blair, Greg Eden, Matungi. Gareth O'Brien's another one that comes to mind. Yes, Isaiah Feki as well. Yes, he didn't play much last year due to injury. He's back as well. The Castleford Tigers team on paper looks okay, but new coach this year, bit of a new sort of way the Castleford are going to go about things, a bit different. I think they're going to probably go. I think they're going to go average this year, to be honest with you. But let's talk about the positives first about the Castleford Tigers. Lorenzo, when you first look at the Castleford Tigers squad, what stands out for you?
Oh, without a doubt, Paul Mcshane. You know, he's been around for a long time. Dummy half. Always gets the job done. Like, there's never any nonsense or anything like that with Mcshane. You know, you know what you get from him. You know, he's just always been a quality player, and I think he's going to be a big part if they're going to have any success this year, Castleford. So Mcshane, for mine, stands out, and especially with Mamo coming there as well, I think it'll be a good pickup. He should be, you know, adding a lot to that back line, and I like Feki and you know, Chase Blair, players like that. So look, it's an okay team. Like, there's definitely some quality in there, but new coach and everything's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Castleford Tigers go this year. What about you, CJ? What stands out for you when you look at the Tigers squad?
Like Lorenzo said, Paul Mcshane, Jake Marmo, Brita Farimo. I think Joe Westerman also stands out for me. And that young kid on the bench, Alex Sutcliffe.
Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, man, I think he's in for a big year. I also see Mahe Fanua rejuvenated, coming to Castleford to make a stance. You know, I think that's going to be really good for his career and for Castleford. But mainly it's Paul Mcshane, man. I think, you know, he's the leader around Castleford. He's going to bring that leadership to, you know, defy expectations. And, yeah, man, I think Paul Mcshane's the player to watch. I'm
very concerned about Castleford this year. I really am, because I'll tell you right now, if Paul Mcshane goes down with an injury and stays out for 4 weeks, I don't know if Castleford will even win a game without him. He's that important to him. It's a very thin squad. If a big name player goes down injured, they're going to really struggle. And I got to say as well, I want to mention this as well. Oliver Holmes, the Castleford Tigers back rower, massive loss. Loss. He's obviously gone to Warrington, which is a great buy for them. Obviously, CJ, that's your side, the Wolves. Big loss for Castleford losing Oliver Holmes. But I think they're in for a backwards year. I think they're going to be not playing finals. I think they're going to miss the top 6 this year. I can't see them making the finals at all this year. But I could be wrong. But CJ, where do you have the Castleford Tigers on your ladder?
I have them 10th.
10th for Cass, okay.
Yep, I think Darryl Powell's a bigger loss than some people think, man. And losing Oliver Holmes in that pack is going to really hurt them, I reckon. Although they bought great players like Jake Marmo, Mahe Fanua, I think, they need more than that. And unfortunately, I see them going backwards this year. I don't think they'll be too bad, but they'll go down the ladder quite a lot.
So you reckon they'll come 10th? Fair call.
Yep.
ProEnzo Vidz, where do you think the Castleford Tigers will finish this year?
I had them 9th. Still not great. They will go backwards again, I think, like CJ said. But yeah, you know, it's like you said, one big name player goes down, the whole team can't really perform. So
yeah, exactly right. Well, I'm with you, CJ. I reckon they'll come 10th. I think they're going to really struggle this year. And obviously, the Super League season starts this weekend. But I got to say, if anyone out there likes to have a bet, Castleford play my team, Salford, this weekend. And Salford are paying $3.80 to beat Cass. So, unbelievable odds. But, yeah, I'm with you, CJ. I think they'll come 10th. Big year ahead for the Castleford Tigers. Very big year ahead. All right, let's move on to Huddersfield. Let's move on to the Huddersfield Giants, fellas. The Huddersfield Giants. Now, this team is very interesting going in this year. They've gone out. They've bought heaps of big-name players. They have thrown the checkbook at a lot of players. They've sort of just thrown everyone together. They haven't really built a dynasty. They haven't really built a roster. They sort of just went out and bought every big-name player they could find. They have a great coach there, Ian Watson. He used to coach my team, Salford. He knows how to do his job very well. But Huddersfield, interesting season for them ahead. But I'll go through some of their squads, so some of those players that some of you guys may know about. Will Price is one to keep a close eye on. He's a weapon. McGilvray is still there. Ricky Latelli is there. Tui Lolohea is there. Theo Farge. Chris Hill. Danny Levi is there as well. Josh Jones. Chris McQueen. Luke Yates. Jack Cogger went over there as well. Sebastian Ikahifalo was there. Who else is there that we all know of?
Tui Lolohea.
Yeah, it's an interesting side for Huddersfield. They've got a lot of players that I know of, but some of you guys might not know some of these Super League players like I do. But what a team, man. I think it's a team that's going to really improve this year. I don't know if they'll make the finals, but I think they'll be competing for the finals this year. What do you think? What do you think, CJ? Do you think this team will go good this year?
I'm expecting them to have a better year than last year. Obviously, it looks like their team's building onto the future. With young Will Price, he's a player to watch, mate. They got Tui Lolohea and Theo Farge from St Helens, which will add a lot of quality and leadership around the park. Chris Hill from Warrington, he's going to be exceptional. He's a leader. Danny Levi, I think, it could go either way. I think it's a good buy.
That's a good signing.
I also look at a player. I look at Jake Wardle and Jermaine McGilvray. I think I like them both.
Yeah,
a lot. And this team, I think they're building onto the future, mate. I think Huddersfield's in for a better year this season.
I think the best thing about the Giants this year is that combination between Will Price at fullback, Lolohea and Farge. I'm really keen to see how that goes. I love the back row as well, with Chris McQueen in there as well. I really like that back row that the Giants are building. But ProEnzo Vidz, mate, what are you expecting from Huddersfield this year?
A bit of improvement, I suppose, because they've made a couple of good pickups. I think they've recruited pretty well. And I think as well, they've got to, if they can keep players like Lolohea, Price, McGilvray, and all the players that have experience and are important for this side to achieve success, that's where I think they'll go really well and, might actually surprise a couple of people. I nearly had them in my top 6. I was very close to putting them there, but I decided not to quite yet. But yeah, look, they've got Danny Levi, who's an interesting pickup. He's been around for a couple of clubs now, so
the Broncos were stupid to let him go.
Yeah, they were. Like, can he stay at one club for a couple of years? We'll have to wait and see. But look, it's not a bad team looking at it. I really think it's a team that should go okay. Really should go okay, I hope.
All right, ProEnzo Vidz, well, where do you think they'll come on the ladder this year, bro? Where will they finish?
I had them number 8, mate. That's where I had them.
8th, okay. Just missing out. Not bad. CJ, what about you, mate? Where do
Miles the same as ProEnzo. I'm going for 8th. I think they're on the rise. They're a team that's going to come up. They're a team of the future, and I'm tipping them 8th. But I won't be surprised if they make a charge into a final spot, mate.
I'm with you, fellas. I've got them 8th as well, but fuck me, man. I reckon they're a genuine chance for the finals this year. I'm tempted to put them in. I'm tempted to put them in my top 6, sorry. But fuck. They are looking the goods, but
that halves pairing. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, the halves pairing is all right, but Lolohea needs to work on his body weight. Seems to be a bit fat all the time, Lolohea. But we'll see how they go. I reckon the Giants are in for a decent year. They should improve this year. I'm quite intrigued to see how the Giants go this year. Let's move on to a team I'm real excited for here. Hull FC, Black and Whites. I'm real keen for Huddersfield. Hull FC this year. I reckon they're in for a really good year, the Hull FC. The Black and Whites, what a year. They are building really well. I love their spine. Jake Connor, Josh Reynolds and Luke Gale and Danny Horton at number 9. I think Hull FC are really, really building this year. I'll start with you first, ProEnzo Vidz. When you first look at the Hull FC squad, what do you see from the squad? Do you see improvement, or do you think this team will just be mediocre again?
I see improvement, but just looking at that team, it looks like they've got most of their players back on that team, because like last year, that heaps of their key names out, for most of the season. So it looks like this year they got most of their players back on the paddock. I like their spine, like you said, Nick. Connor's going to be great, but I guess losing him for a couple of weeks will be tough. I like, Danny Horton as well. I think he's an underrated sort of hooker. Doesn't get enough credit. And there's a couple of former Warriors players in there as well, which is interesting. So it's made up of a good squad, I reckon. It is made up of a lot of potential, and hopefully their injury crisis isn't as bad as what it was last year. Because if it's below, if it's below bar, then yeah, they should go really well, I reckon. Hull FC.
I look at Hull FC's forward pack and I just look frightened of it. Liggy Sow in the front row is a weapon. Chris Sarte is a really good front rower. Andre Sevilio in the back row is a weapon. Manu Ma'u is there as well, experience. Jordan Lane, it was unbelievable last year, Jordan Lane. Then you got someone like Scott Taylor coming off the bench with Josh Bowden. Very experienced forwards who know how to do their job well. And obviously in the back line, Josh Griffin coming back from an ACL. He's a very important part of how Hull FC play. Carlos Mavave is there as well. Adam Swift and Daryl McIntosh on the wing will be good for him as well. When Jake Connor comes back from his injury in round 3 or 4, when he's back from his injury that he suffered in the preseason, Jamie Shaw will start the year at fullback. I just wonder, how are they going to fit Jamie Shaw and Jake Connor in the same side? Because Jamie Shaw and Jake Connor are both quality players. Obviously, Jake Connor's the better player, but Jamie Shaw needs to be in this team somewhere. I just don't know where he fits into the side. CJ, what happens with this? Shaw and Connor, what do you like? How are they going to fit him in?
Well, obviously, personally, I'd have Jake Connor as the starting fullback. Jamie Shaw, that's tough. He'd have to be in the 17th somewhere.
Maybe on the bench.
Yeah, whether he comes off as a bench player or, hell, test him as a utility maybe, dare I say. But, yeah, man, I'd have Jake Connor over Jamie Shaw in the starting fullback position.
For sure.
But, yeah, I'm very intrigued by Hull FC. I think with all their troops returning, I think it's a big year for Brett Hodgson as a coach.
Definitely.
And, I look at players like Darnell McIntosh. I think he's in for a big year. He's talented, that one. Luke Gale and Josh Reynolds, I really like the halves pairing.
I'm excited for that.
And Manu Ma'u coming back. And Joe Lovadua, man, he's an underrated buy. I really like that buy.
Definitely.
Yeah, same.
Definitely a good signing as well. But back on Josh Reynolds and Luke Gale at halfback, I think this combination is going to work out really well, because you look at, so Josh Reynolds plays the game like he loves running in at the line. He loves getting players jammed in. He's a running half, Josh Reynolds. He can be a game manager if he needs to here and there. But Josh Reynolds is a running 5'8". Luke Gale, he's an experienced halfback. He knows how to game manage his side really well. If Luke Gale can stay fit, and that's the key word. If Luke Gale can stay fit, then Hull FC with Connor and Shaw and Tumavave and all these sort of players, Griffin and Jordan Lane, Andre Sevilio and Sarte and all these sort of players, if Hull FC can stay fit, the Black and Whites this year are going to cause a massive headache for the other teams. And I'm telling you right now, their forward pack is as good as anyone's. Liggy Sow and Chris Sarte are a great duo in the front row. I love Manu Ma'u in the back row with Andre Sevilio. Very frightening. Jordan Lane at loose forward, absolute nightmare. Hull FC are in for a big fucking year, and I reckon they're going to have they're going to make top 4. I reckon they're going to finish 4th.
How do you think Kane Evans does?
Kane Evans, another one that I didn't mention, because Kane Evans We all know he's got issues. We've all seen him in the NRL. Kane Evans for me would be better off coming off the bench. I don't think he should start. Kane Evans coming off the bench would be okay
That's
for him, but
He's
look, I don't think he should start by any means. Off the bench would be better for Kane Evans. But final thing on Hull FC. Where will Hull FC finish this year, CJ?
I'm actually tipping them to make the playoffs. I think they're just sneaking out that sixth position with the troops coming back. Yeah, mate. I think with their troops coming back, I think they're in for a big year. And I can't wait to see the whole derby because both teams are going to be very competitive.
I can't wait for it.
I'm tipping Hull FC.
What about you, ProEnzo? Where will Hull FC finish this year?
Yeah, I had them 7th actually, just missing it. I don't know. I think I'll still go well, but I don't know, man. I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
All right, I can understand that. I mean, obviously if a B9 player goes down injured, then it's going to be a bit tough for them. But I've got them coming 5th. I think top 4 is a good chance, but I've got Hull FC coming 5th. I think they're going to have a really good year. If they made top 4, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm really excited for Hull FC this year. I think they're in for a really, really good year. Let's move on to Hull FC's big rivals, Hull KR, the Rovers, or as they call them, the Robins. Hull Kingston Rovers. Now, this team has a lot of former NRL players. They've got the likes of Lachlan Coote going over there. Ben Crooks is now there. Brad Takarangi, Sean Kenny-Dow, Ryan Hall, Albert Vette, Matt Parcell, Kane Leonard in the back row. Corbin Sims is there still. Who else I got from the NRL? That's pretty much about it. But Hull KR, man. Last year, they were overachievers. Everyone thought last year Hull KR would come last, get relegated. They ended up making the finals. They had a great year last year. And I've got to say, the likes of Mikey Lewis, the likes of Jordan Abdul, they were exceptional for Hull Kingston Rovers last year. I want to start with you this time, ProEnzo Vidz. Do you see Hull KR backing up what they did last year, or do you think they might just be a one-year wonder? What do you reckon?
No, absolutely. I see them really going well this year. When I look outside, I see Lachlan Coote from my team, St. Helens. Still sort of fuming we lost him, but we've got Wellesby now, so see how that goes. But anyway, Coote will go well. That's a big buy. You've seen what he's done for St. Helens. He's achieved so much there, so he'll be good for that Hull KR team, make them stronger. I like some of the players, like, they don't get talked about enough. Like, I think George King was okay from what I've seen. Albert Vette is decent. Matt Parcell is a pretty good hooker as well. I've always liked him. And two experienced centres, and Takarangi and Kenny-Dow, and even the wingers are pretty good. Like Ben Crooks and Ryan Hall guaranteed to get a lot of points. It's a good side, it's a side with a lot of potential, so I like it.
A lot of attack in this team, man. When I look at Hull KR's backline, Coote at fullback, quality. Crooks at Hall on the wing, experience. Kenny-Dow and Takarangi in the centres, experience. Hull KR have a team here that last year made the second week of the finals. I'll tell you what, they were one game away from a grand final last year. I don't know if this team can get to the grand final, but fuck me, I'll tell you what, I reckon they'll go pretty close. What about you, CJ? What do you think about Hull KR this year?
I'm very high on Hull KR this season, specifically due to the signing of Lachlan Coote coming off 2 premierships of St. Helens. Ben Crooks, Ryan Hawes probably in good career form again. He's hit form. Jordan Abdul, he's firing up.
Mikey Lewis, weapon as well.
Mikey Lewis, he's an absolute weapon. It's an attacking team, and I think they're going to go a lot better this year than they did last year. I think in terms of quality and experience in the side, definitely going to have a better year, I reckon.
I look at this squad and I'm going, fuck me. Last year, everyone thought they were going to come last. They ended up making the finals. They only got better by gaining Lachlan Coote into their squad. Yeah. They were one game away from a grand final last year. They've got to be up there again this year. I think they're a really good side. I love what they're building. Kane Leonard in the back row is not bad as well.
Dean Hadley
are building as well. Someone like Dean Hadley as well, very experienced. Greg Richards as well is not a bad player on his day as well. So I think Hull KR are in for a good year. And I got to say, defensively last year, they were very good at the back end of last year. So I'm pretty keen on Hull KR. I reckon they're in for a really good season this year.
Agreed.
CJ, where do you think Hull KR will finish on the ladder?
Hull KR just finishing up above their rivals. I have Hull KR finishing 5th this year.
5th, okay, yeah. What about you, ProEnzo Vidz?
Yeah, I was the same. I have them 50 this year. They're going to go really well, I reckon.
Yeah, fair call there. Well, I reckon they're going to come 6th. I think they'll just sneak into the finals. They could be higher than 6. I wouldn't be surprised. But I've got to say, a disappointment for Hull KR this year would be missing the finals again. But I think they're in for a really good year. And I'm really intrigued to see how Hull KR go in 2022. Let's move on to a team that I am very, very high on this year, and that is the Leeds Rhinos. What a squad Leeds have got. They've picked up. They look like a much better side now. And I'll go through some of the former NRL players that the viewers here would know of. David Fusatula's gone over there. Blake Austin and Aiden Caesar are the house pairing. Matt Pryor is still there. Reece Martin, Zane Tanavano, Brad Dwyer. Bodane Thompson is there as well. And that's pretty much about it from the NRL's perspective. But, man, Leeds, this squad has so much quality. This is going to be a very, very hard team to stop in 2022. I'll start with you this time, CJ.
Yeah.
When you look at the Leeds Rhinos squad for 2022, what excites you about Leeds this year?
I see premiership material. I see Blake Austin and Aiden Caesar in the halves, mate. That's elite. David Fusatula's going over there to rejuvenate his career. And don't forget, Cruz Leeming.
Oh, yeah.
What a breakout year he had last year. Brad Dwyer, coming off that, coming off the bench, I think he'll be really good. Yeah, look, I'm really high on Leeds this year. I'm bloody nervous as all hell to verse him in round 1.
I don't blame you.
Team.
That game is on Saturday night, by the way, 11:30. Leeds Warrington, big game.
This team will definitely contend for a premiership this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they are genuine contenders as well. I think they're going to be hard to stop. What about you, ProEnzo Vidz? When you have a good look at the Leeds side, are you excited by it, or do you reckon they're just going to be a team that makes the finals and does nothing? What do you think about Leeds this year?
Yeah, 100%. I think they're going to do really well this year. I see there's a lot of quality, a lot of champion players on that side. Look, yeah, like Austin and Caesar, a great halves combination. Both were great at Canberra a couple of years ago. Let's see how they go together again. I think as well, like I know you're a big fan of him, Nick, and I don't blame you because Cruz Leeming's a fantastic player, and he'll go really well. He'll go really well again this year. Bodine Thompson, Reece Martin, 2 very experienced players who do a job, and I like Jack Walker as well, the fullback. I think Walker's his last name. Yeah, Jack Walker's also not a bad player in my opinion. Ash Handley. So there's a lot of quality in that team. Like I do think that team's gonna contend for a championship title, however you want to put it, and they'll go really well, definitely.
I thought Milo was starting fullback.
Yeah, he should be.
I
don't know. I don't know what they're going to do there with Walker and Milo, but we'll have to wait and see. But fuck, Leeds, what a side they have. And I'm just going to go out there and say it, guys. I believe the Leeds Rhinos are going to win this 2022 Super League Grand Final. They are my tip to win it all this year. I genuinely believe this team is going to win it all. I think they have the squad. I believe they have the coach. I believe they have the roster. I think that forward pack. Look at that forward pack. I mean, you've got the likes of Matt Pryor in there. You've got the likes of Tanavano. You've got so many good players here. Reece Martin. Bodane Thompson's got experience. James Bentley as well. What a weapon he is. Cameron Smith at lock. You've got old Zeki. I can't pronounce his fucking name, but number 8 for Leeds. What a weapon he's become. Cruz Leeming. Now, look at that back line. You got the likes of Fusatula and Ash Hanley on the wing. That's quality. Harry Newman, Liam Sutcliffe. This team is going to cause headaches. You've got the likes of Briscoe there as well. You've got the likes of James Donaldson in the forward pack as well. If Austin and Caesar get it right, which I think they will, this team is going to be very hard to stop this year. So, in my opinion, the Leeds Rhinos are going to win the 2022 Super League. Leeds are my tip to win it all this year.
Fair share.
So I've got Leeds coming about second on my ladder. Where do you guys reckon Leeds will finish this year? I'll start with you, ProEnzo.
I've got them in third place. They'll be in the top 4 again, and they'll definitely come to title contention. They're going to go really well.
Good call there. What about you, CJ? What do you think Leeds will finish?
I have them third, man. They're going to be back in premiership contention for sure.
Yeah, well, I reckon Leeds will come. I reckon they'll come second this year. I reckon they're going to be very hard to stop. So let's move on to the next team now. It's my team, lads. The Salford Red Devils. Let's go to the Salford Red Devils squad now, and here it is up on the screen. Now, some former NRL players in here as well. There's a fair few of them, actually. Ken Seo is in there. Callum Watkins is there. Tim Laffey, Joe Burgess. Brody Croft is there. Sitiliki Alakafo is there. Shane Wright from the Cowboys has gone over. Elijah Taylor's still there. And Sargentson is there as well. So a lot of former NRL players in the Salford Red Devils team. And if you guys don't know, I'm a Salford Red Devils fan, in case the viewers don't know that. If you're a new viewer, you might not know who I go for. I'll go for the Salford Red Devils. And Salford's going to be very interesting this year. Everyone's tipping Salford to come last, but looking at that squad, I don't think it's going to come last. You look at that team on paper, I don't see how this team's going to come last. I mean, have a look at that back line. You've got the likes of Ken Seo in there, who was top try scorer last year. Callum Watkins, very experienced player. If he stays fit, he can be very good. Tim Laffey, again, experienced. Joe Burgess, Dan Sargentson, very experienced backline there. And then you got someone like Brody Croft coming over to Salford, trying to save his career, I guess you could say. Didn't work out at Melbourne and Brisbane. Needs to come over to Salford and try and change his career around a bit like what Jackson Hastings did. Mark Sneed, another one, experienced. Alakafo is a good signing as well. Shane Wright, James Greenwood, Elijah Taylor, all in the back row. I don't know, man. Also, you got someone there like fucking, where is he? I'm trying to find his fucking name. Harvey Livett, another one who I thought had a really good year last year. I think Salford's going to actually go all right this year. I'll start with you, CJ.
Yep.
Do you think Salford's going to go better than what people are making of them?
I mean, I do. I see Ken Seo and Callum Watkins straight off the bat. 2 try-scoring machines, man. They're going to be very good on that edge there. Brody Croft and Mark Sneed. I think,
big one.
In my opinion, they're a bit too similar.
They are.
But Brody Croft, they need a game manager there, man. And
yeah, I'm with you.
Mark Sneed's a running half, so I don't get what they're doing there, but can't really question it. Brody Croft, obviously his career, is on the verge of, it's on hinges, so he's going to want to make a statement over there in England and try to solidify a spot back in Australia after a few years at Salford. Joe Burgess, I think he's really solid, man. I think he's going to be
a good winger.
Big year. Tim Laffey, also another player whose career is kind of on the hinge. He's want to go over there. But I'm looking at I can't pronounce his name, but Akawola, man. I think he's very solid for Warrington. I see him. I really like him in the Salford squad, man. And
I'm telling you, CJ, you Warrington buggers are gonna feel like an idiot because you're gonna regret letting him go. I'm telling you right now.
We probably will, to be honest.
I believe that Warrington are gonna regret letting him go. I'm telling you right now. Probably. What about you, ProEnzo Vidz? When you look at the Salford side on paper, what do you think of it? Do you think it's a team that's going to improve a little bit? Like came second last year, they came 11th last year. Do you think they improve a little bit this year?
Oh, look, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, there's some good, all right players in there. I don't mind Seo, Watkins, and Laffey's a good buy and all that. But I don't know, bro. I just think they're not going to go as great, unfortunately. They might be a bit better and might win a bit more games, but I just don't know yet.
They're hard to trust.
Yeah, exactly. They're hard to trust. One of the main concerns I have with that Salford team is that their spine isn't great, in my opinion. Like I mean, look, I don't think it's a bad, like it's not terrible, but like I don't think it's one that might gel straight away, in my opinion. Like CJ mentioned before, Croft and Mark Sneed are too similar. There's no running play. They're both organising type players, so that might be an issue across the season. I don't mind how they signed he's a new signing, isn't he? King Vuniyawa. That's a
Yes.
decent pickup from the Rhinos. And yeah, I think it's look. I hope they go well for your sake, Nick. But I just don't know, man. I don't know.
Salford is hard to trust. I mean, you look at them on paper and you look at the back line, you go, wow. And then you look at the halfbacks, Croft and Sneed. Again, I said this a few weeks ago when I did my predictions 3 weeks ago. I said Croft and Sneed are too similar. There's no running 5'8". I'm assuming Brody Croft is going to be the running 5'8". I don't know how that's going to go this year, but far out, man. The spine does have question marks on it. I don't know who's going to play fullback. I'm hearing Ryan Briley is going to play fullback. Personally, I would start the year with Dan Hudson at fullback. If it was up to me, I would go with that. That way you fit in Watkins and left line and centers, and on the wing you got Burgess and Co. But when I look at Salford's back line, I get excited. When I look at the halves, I see a lot of similarities, which might be a concern. Fullback's okay, but a little bit weak compared to the big side. So, I mean, the good thing for Salford is, fellas, their start to the year is not bad. They play Castleford in round 1, which is a winnable game, and then they play Toulouse. So, in my opinion, Salford could win their first 2 games, realistically. They could. Not a bad start of playing Cass and Toulouse. So, we'll see how Salford go this year. But where do you guys think they'll come on the ladder?
I'm going for ninth. I'm going for ninth spot.
Okay, yeah.
I think they're still building. They should improve from last season. I think Salford will be better this year. It's still like a building process for them, but they should be better than, like most people say. I think they're gonna be higher expectation than most people are putting in, like relegation and stuff. I don't think so.
Yeah. What about you? What about you, Lorenzo?
Yeah. I say 10th. I think 10th is fair enough for a team like them. They could be a bit higher if they get it right, but 10th is a safe spot for me right now.
I reckon they'll come about 9th. Sadly, I want to put them in my top 6, but I just can't. I just don't think they have the players yet to be a top 6 playoff finals team. Maybe if they go out and get maybe a big name front row, I think that's what they're lacking. I think Alakalo was a good start, but I look at Salford's front rowers. I don't see any big standout prop. I mean, it'd be good if we had like a Tanavano or Matt Pryor or even someone like that. It'd be good if we had one of those sort of players. And, we don't have that at Salford at the moment. So again, it's probably a building year for us, but interested to see how we go.
New coach as well, if I'm correct.
Yeah, another new coach, and another bloke under a lot of pressure. So we'll see how they go this year. But let's move on to the back-to-back champions, St. Helens, the Free Peters, the best team in the Super League. We don't really need to get into the squad too much because we know how good it is, but we'll just go through it. Some of the former NRL players, so obviously Hopper Wade's gone over there. Still got Sienna Mataudea there. Joey Luttig's gone over there as well. Curtis Sheridan. Ignatius Parsley's still there as well. Conrad Hurrell has signed for St. Helens. But have a look at that squad. You've got Jack Wellesby, Makinson's a gun. Percival's a gun. Grace is a weapon. Lomax and Lewis Dodd are absolutely phenomenal. Wormsley, the best prop in the Super League. James Roby, the best hooker in the Super League by far. Matty Lees is there. Morgan Nolas. Kyle Amor. Fucking hell, man. McCarvey Scarswalk, I know no one likes him, but he's a great player, even though he's a grub. Whether you like Saints or you hate Saints or you're sick of Saints, there's no doubt about it. They are going to be a top 3 team again. They're going to be hard to beat. I'll start with you, ProEnzo Vidz, because you're a St. Helens fan. Obviously, St. Helens have won the last 3 Super League Grand Finals and looking to go 4 in a row. But when you look at that squad, do you think it's a better squad than last year, or do you think there's still going to be do you think it might be a little bit weaker than last year? What do you reckon about Saints, bro?
Yeah, well, I've got a couple of things to say. I think we've definitely lost a bit of quality with Coote and Farge going. They're 2 pretty key losses, in my opinion, having those 2 gone. But we do replace them with pretty good players, I reckon. I think Lomax and Dodd will be a good halves combination, in my opinion. I also think, Jack Wellesby, he's young, and I think he's the future. So hopefully he's a good replacement for Coote in the next couple of years. The forward pack is still very strong. I like Wormsley, Roby. It's just quality, man. Like everything about it just looks really good. And the back line again, Mackinson's always been quality. He's a very experienced player. Hopper White is an interesting buy from the Bulldogs. Hopefully, he can go well for us. Grace is my favourite player. Regan Grace is an absolute gun, in my opinion. Hoping to get bit more tries this year.
Oh, yeah.
Look, yeah, bro. Look, it's gonna be a really tough team to beat this year. And Curtis Sutton from Manly coming to my team in England, so it's a good team, I reckon. I think we'll go really well this year, and hopefully we can make it 1, 2, and 3, and 4. I know people won't like that. But I hope so.
When St. Helens play at the totally wicked stadium, I don't know if they'll be beaten. They're going to be so hard to beat at home this year, Saints. It's pretty much a fortress for them. So very, very hard side to beat this year, I'll tell you that. CJ, I know you're a Warrington fan, and I know you're not really a big fan of St. Helens, but when you look at their squad, mate, do you see this team getting even better?
Oh, well, you cannot deny the championship quality of this team. The likes of Makinson, Percival, Grace, Lomax, Wormsley, Roby, all that sort. You also got an experienced coach in Christian Wolf, who's won the past 2 back-to-back premierships with St. Helens. Yeah, this team, man, this team will contend again. And I'm not going to write them off for the 4P, mate. Yeah, they're in for another big year. I really like Joey Lussick coming on as that utility and fill in case James Roby is out. I really like Lomax and Dodd as well. Alex Wormsley, best prop in the game, hands down. He's an absolute monster this year, and I can't wait to see him have another go. Hopewade and Sirinen, I think they're solid buys. Conrad Harrell, I like that signing. Mate, St. Helens, they're in for another big year. And like you said, when that's a totally wicked stadium, they're going to be hard to beat, man.
I tell you what, though, I think the Will Hopewade signing is a good one. I don't know about Curtis Sirinen. I think he's getting older, getting slower. Yeah. I don't know, man. I have questions on it. I really do.
Yeah, bro. My concerns are his knees and his injuries because he's always injured. Like that's the issue. He's an injury-prone player.
Well, the weather's going to be a lot more colder over in England as well. So I don't know, man. His hamstrings could be a concern because you got to remember as well when Greg Inglis went over there, everyone thought he would dominate, and then the cold weather and the hamstring, and that was the end of him. Same with Curtis Sirinen. I don't know, man. Injuries. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes. But when I look at Saints' team, they've got the best back line. They've got the best halves. They've got the best prop, the best hooker. They've got the best team. They're the team to beat this year. If you want to win the Super League this year, you're going to have to go for St. Helens. I don't care what anyone says. You're going to have to go for Saints if you're going to win it all this year. They are the team to beat. And
they've been the benchmark for the 3 years straight.
Not much more to say about them because everyone knows what they're like. They're the best team in the Super League, and they tend to beat for a reason. I believe they will finish first again this year. They will finish top. I don't care what anyone says. They will finish first, and then it'll be up to the other teams to try and catch up with Saints. But they're going to be hard to beat this year, and I'm really keen to see how the likes of Jack Wellsby and Lewis Dodd go this year. They're very exceptional young players, and Johnny Lomax just gets better and better as well. So Saints, they're in for another great year again. I reckon they'll come first and win the League Leaders' Shield. What about you, ProEnzo? What do you reckon Saints will come this year?
First again, not being biased or anything, but it's pretty obvious they'll come about first or second at least. They're going to kill it this year. Up the mighty Saints, eh?
I was waiting for it. What about you, CJ? What do you think Saints will come this year?
I'm typically going to come second. Obviously, this is going to be a contender. And, look, adding on to ProEnzo's point earlier, they've lost players like Lachlan Clute and also Kevin Nagama as well. So, they do lose a bit, but they've also replaced really good, and I'm tipping to come second. And honestly,
I reckon I'll come first, lads. I reckon I'll finish first. And like I said before, if you want to beat the champ this year, well, you're going to have to beat the champ. And
most likely this being James Roby's final year, they're going to want to send him out on a great note.
That'll be sad too if it happens. It'll be a very emotional time. So we'll see how it all goes. But Saints are the team to beat without a doubt. Let's move on to the new team in Super League, Toulouse Olympian. They are in the Super League. They got in. I don't know how they're going to go this year, but they have got in. Toulouse Olympian are in. Now, it's hard to really rank some of these players and talk about them because they were in the championship, and over here in Australia, where we watch the Super League games that are on Fox League, that's usually on Sky, That they don't show the championship over here. The only games they show over here for the championship are the ones that's on in the finals. They don't show the other games. So Toulouse Olympian, hard to really get a judge on their side, but a couple of the players will stand out to some of the viewers that are watching tonight. I think Jonathan Ford is a half that a lot of people would know of. I think he used to play in Australia under 18s a while ago.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Andrew Dixon comes to mind. Dominic Peyrou's obviously one of the big name ones that comes to mind. Joseph Paulo and Mitch Garbutt as well, and obviously Matty Russell. But outside of that, not really a lot of players that I'm very familiar with Toulouse. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Toulouse go this year. But I'll start with you this time, ProEnzo. How do you see Toulouse going this year?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, so many unknowns in that team. Like, I just don't know most of the names there. Like, I know who Mark Corella is. He played for the Sharks a long time ago, I'm pretty sure. Lucas Albert, that name rings a bell as well. I don't know. Like, there's just not enough quality in that team. You get what I mean? Like, there's not enough quality. There's not enough really going for them. I like Tony Giggett in that side.
He's not bad.
He's pretty good. Yeah, bro, I don't know. I don't really have much of a high standard for them this year, in my opinion. They're probably going to take a bit of time to gel, if anything. May struggle. So, yeah, it might be a long year for Toulouse, but hopefully not.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see how that all goes about. What about you, CJ? What do you think about Toulouse this year? Do you think they'll do well, or do you think they're going to struggle?
I think they're in the shitter. The only players I really recognise is Junior Vive, Jonathan Ford, Dom Peyrou, Joseph Parlow, Mitch Garbutt, James Cunningham, and Paul Macron. That's about it. All I can really say is they'll be lucky to win 3 games, really. The inexperience is going to hurt them. And I think the player that's going to stand out for me for this Toulouse side to keep them together is going to be Paul Macron. I rate Paul Macron. And I guess you can also say Jonathan Ford and Dominic Peyrou. Other than that, I've not really seen Toulouse play, so I can't really put a statement in this.
I've got a lot of question marks on Toulouse this year. I don't know how they're going to go. I have a lot of concerns. I look at their squad, and I'm not really inspired, man. I look at Dominic Peyrou, Mitch Garbutt, Joseph Paulo, and Jonathan Ford, and outside of that, it's not much quality like ProEnzo Vidz said before. But what Toulouse's goal will be this year is to try and avoid relegation, try and avoid coming last. But I want to ask you guys before we move on, how many games will Toulouse win this year? Just a prediction. How many games will Toulouse win? I'll start with you, CJ.
2.
2 games. Okay. ProEnzo Vidz?
3.
3. I reckon they'll win 1 game. I reckon they'll win 1. I don't know who they'll beat, but I reckon they'll win 1 game. I just don't see how this side is going to do anything good. I think they're going to really struggle this year. I reckon Toulouse will come 12th. I reckon they'll come last, and they'll get relegated. That's my prediction for Toulouse.
Me too, relegation.
What's that?
Same.
All right. We all agree Toulouse will come last, and they will get relegated. But, hey, we could be wrong. But wish them all the best for 2022. Righto, let's move on to a team that some people are ranking this year, actually, which is a bit of a surprise to me. I don't know how this team is getting talked up to be anything, but Wakefield Trinity, let's get into them now. Wakefield, now, if you remember, fellas, the back end of last year, Wakefield won about 4 or 5 in a row to finish off last year. I believe they beat Warrington in the final round or 2, or something like that.
Yeah.
Wakefield, wow, they're usually dog shit, but maybe they're in for an okay year. But let's go through some of their squad, and obviously they've still got Tom Johnson there, one of the best wingers in the game. He's a weapon. Bill Tupou in the centres. Breeze Lynn as well. He played for England against France at the end of last year. Tom Lineham is a good signing as well. Jacob Miller and Mason Leno in the halves is a pretty good combination. Liam Hood is there as well. Kalepi Tanganoa, Jai Whitbread, James Batchelor, Lee Gaskell's there as well. Liam Kay, David Fafita in the front row as well. When I look at Wakefield's team, I don't think they're going to come last, but I don't see how this team's going to do anything better than 10th. I don't know about Wakefield this year, boys, but I'll start with you, CJ. What do you think about Wakefield this year? Are they going to improve?
I think they will improve, but not by much. Tom Johnstone and Tom Lineham. I really like the Tom Lineham signing. I think that's quality for them. Mason Lino, I think he's a good half for him.
He's a good player, Mason Lino.
And also a new coach in Matty Pete. So I think no. Will Poaching, that's the new coach. My bad.
Poaching, yes.
And I've heard quite a bit about Liam Hood.
Yep.
And yeah, look, I haven't really seen much from Wakefield this year. Really, I think bang average side, bang average team. Don't expect much.
I'm interested to see how they go this year. I really am. What about you, ProEnzo Vidz? What do you think about Wakefield this year?
Yeah, to be honest, exact same. I don't really think they're going to do anything amazing this year. At best, they're very average, in my opinion. I mean, there's some names I like in there. Like I like Kalipi Taganov. I've always sort of rated him. David Fafita, Bill Tupou, Tom Johnson, Tom Lineham. So there's an okay mix of players there, but still, there's not enough to really get them to the next level. There's not enough. There's not enough for them to kind of expand outside the bottom three, bottom two, however you want to say it. So, there's not really much I can really expect from that team in particular, unfortunately.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, I think Wakefield have got an okay squad. Definitely need to upgrade a few players and get some better players there. I think the back line's pretty good, but Johnson and Lineham, and I think Tupou and Lynn are not bad as well. But the halves are fine with Miller and Lino, but the front row needs a bit of work, man. I think Fafita's good, but they need a bit more. Tanganoa's not bad as well. Gaskell's pretty good.
I think
Jay Pitts ain't too bad as well, but they're gonna struggle a bit this year, I think.
I think that Corey Hoare kid, I think he has potential. If you put him in a top side, I think he'll shine.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good as well. But I'm with you, ProEnzo. I think Wakefield will be pretty much the same as what they were last year. So where will Wakefield finish, fellas, on the ladder this year?
11th.
Yeah, 11th. I'm the exact same.
Yeah, I think 11th as well. I think they'll come second last. I don't think they'll come last, but I think they'll come 11th in 2022. Wakefield. All right, we've got two more teams to go. And let's get on to the next side, who have got a very good team this year. And DJ knows exactly who I'm talking about. That is the Warrington Wolves. Do they have a good squad, man? The Wolves
the 2022 Super League Premiership winners. It's our year. It's our year.
I hear it every fucking year with Warrington. But their squad, man, they got the likes of Rashford still there, Charnley, Peter Matadia, Toby King, Ashton. That's a good back line. Gareth Whittam and George Williams in the halves again. Quality halves pairing. Philbin and Cooper up front. You've got Darryl Clark there again. Gun Hooker. The back row is so good to look on paper, isn't it? Ben Curry, Oliver Holmes. Got Jack Hughes there. Jason Clark. Danny Walker's there as well. Fuck, it's a good side, man. We'll start with you, CJ, because they're your boys, Warrington. But how do you see the Warrior going this year?
In my 5 years of supporting Warrington, I think this is the year I'm most excited about. And that's coming off, Oliver Holmes and Ben Curry coming together. I think that's going to be fucking amazing. George Williams and Gareth Whittam, bro, that's unreal. That's going to be such a good halves pairing, especially if George Williams getting a full preseason season under his belt. Stephen Ratchford, Josh Charnley, Peter Matadia, Toby King, Matty Ashton. Great backline. Darryl Clark, elite hooker. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he goes, man. Darryl Powell coming in. It's kind of a new era look around here, and I think if there's genuinely a year we can do it, I think this year is the big test to do it.
I'm interested to see how Warrington go this year. I really am keen to see how they go. ProEnzo Vidz, what do you think about Warrington this year?
Yeah, look, it's still a very good team. I like, the fullbacks, Stephen Ratchford. Always been around for a while now and should be good for that side again. And, I like players like, what's his name, Mike Cooper, Darryl Clark, and I like the signing as well, Billy McGulius. It's another, good sort of squad. And, I think they'll definitely be up there. And again, they'll be in the top 4 for sure and contending for a title. I know it's been a while since they've won one, but they'll be into contention again. Look, overall, it's a good team, and the halves are very. That's what obviously one of the biggest sort of strengths in that side is the halves. Whittapen and George Williams. Those two are going to go really well, and I think Williams is going to thrive. In my opinion, this year might be a bit of a good contention, a bit of a roughie for the Man of Steel this year in 2022, in my opinion. So
Definitely.
it's a very good team. It is. It's going to go well.
I'm interested to see how they go as well. Look, Warrington's obviously got the quality backward line there with the likes of Ratchford and fucking Charnley and Ashton and Metallica, Toby King, Woodard Williams, Philbin Clark, Cooper, Curry, Holmes, Hughes. List goes on and on and on. And I think Greg Minikin's also going to be really good this year for him as well. So Warrington for me. Also, I forgot to mention, Billy Magoulias went over there as well from Cronulla. Billy Magoulias gone over there. Apparently, it's only for a year or two, and then he'll come back. Apparently, I hope Billy Magoulias goes really well. I really do. I'm interested to see how Billy Magoulias goes. But CJ, mate, Magoulias, do you think he'll do well for Warrington?
Yeah, I think he'll do well, but after his Warrington stint, I think he'll come back to Australia.
Yeah, I do too. But Warrington, they're going to be hard to beat this year at the Hawaii Jones Stadium. Quality side, quality club, quality coach. I know they choke a lot, but this has got to be a year where they have to go very close this year. So, Warrington, ProEnzo Vidz, where will they finish on the ladder?
I have them coming fourth this year. Warrington may go back a little bit, but still be in the top 6 for sure.
Yeah. What about you, CJ? Warrington, where will they come this year?
I'm going fourth as well. I think we're going to be composed to remain in the top 4 position. I think if there's a chance to win it, like genuinely without the jokes, I think this year we will come close this year. And yeah, it's a quality side. I'm looking forward to this year. Most exciting year as a Warrington fan for me.
I've got Warrington coming fourth as well. I think they're going to be right up there again. And if they want to go all the way this year, it'll come down to George Williams and Widdop and Clark. I think it'll come down to those 3 players. If they're at their best, they're as good a chance as anyone. So Warrington should have a very, very good year. Now let's move on to the final team to talk about, to preview for the year. And that is the Wigan Warriors, lads. The Wigan Warriors. Wowee. They look like a completely different team now. Losing Hastings and shout out to my good friend John, if he's watching over there in the UK. Big Wigan fan. Shout out to John. Hopefully he's watching this. I'm sure he'll be watching it later if he's not watching it now. But Wigan, wowee. They look like a different it's a bit of a different time for Wigan. Usually they're a top 3 side and stuff, but this year it looks a little bit different for Wigan. But let's go through their squad real quick, fellas. And obviously, Bevan French is there, Jake Bibby, Zach Hardacre, so many quality players there. Ian Thornley, Liam Marshall. I think Kate Cuss going over there as well is a good pickup. Thomas Lualai is still there, experience. Singleton, Paddy Magos from the Bunnies has gone over. Sam Powell. The back row, so experienced as well. Willie Isa, John Bateman, Liam Farrell. And you got other guys there like Morgan Smithies, Kate Ellis from the Dragons, from St. George of the Warrior, I should say. He went over there. Jai Field's still there. Miski from Manly. I mean, having a look at Wigan, they have lost a bit with Hastings gone and Kate Cuss coming in, which is a bit of a downgrade in my opinion. But Wigan still look fairly good on paper. I'll start with you, ProEnzo Vidz. What do you make of the Wigan Warriors team this year? Squad, whatever.
Yeah, it's lost quality. Got that right. Hastings is a big blow. He's going to be a massive loss in my opinion because I think he was very good for that side last year, and he was the main reason why they went so well because of his impact and the way he led the side. It was definitely something like they'll probably miss a lot coming into this year. Oliver Gildard's a bit of a loss as well, and interesting to see how players like Thornley and Marshall will step up in a new year. Look, I really think they'll go well. I still think I know people have them going a bit backwards because of the French situation and everything like that. It's going to sort of affect them, but on paper for me, they've still got a very good team. I still like them a lot. Bateman's good, Farrell's good, and all that. Kate Cuss, he's a bit of a downgrade in my opinion as well. I think he's not really like Hastings, but Cuss is a good young player, and he is very handy. So hopefully he can, do well before he comes back to Manly in 2024. So, no, man, it's a good side.
No doubt about it. What about you, CJ? What are your thoughts on the Wigan Warriors?
Look, Bevan French, obviously the main, player that's going to be leading him around. Cade Cuss coming in for Jackson Hastings. I think it's a fair replacement. I think Cade Cuss is probably going to be the main man around Wigan now because that's what he's been hyped up to be. Tommy Luai, whether it's his last year or not, we'll see. Paddy Mago, apparently against us, he had a really good game. From what I've heard, he was really class against us. Willie Izza, I think he's a good player, but his discipline gets the best of him sometimes. And Farrell, class player. John Bateman, a player that needs to kind of step up this year. And also Jai Field. I really like Jai Field. So I think I think Wigan are in for a good year. With Sean Wayne being back there and new coach in Matty Pete, they'll go back a bit, but I don't see them dropping too far below.
Yeah, fair call. Look, I think Wigan are in for a different year. I reckon, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say it. The Wigan Warriors will not play finals footy this year.
Well,
big call.
I think they've lost quality. I think they've gotten a bit weaker. And having a look at their squad, man, I think their backline's good with the likes of French and Zach Hardacre. And obviously they've still got a bit of experience there with Thomas Luai and all a couple others. But I'm writing them off. I can't say them being contenders this year. And I think they're going to miss the finals. I don't like the direction they're going.
It's tough to write them off.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it. And if they have a good year and surprise me, then fair play to them. But
they've got a good coaching staff. Lee Breers from the Wagon.
I just think they're going backwards. I just don't like what they're doing this year.
Yeah, Hastings is a big void to fill.
Hastings is a huge blow for them. It's a big loss. But they're all the teams previewed, fellas. So we've done that. Good fun doing the previews. Now let's get into another prediction.
Yep.
Before we get on out of here, we've got a few predictions to get through, and then we'll be all done. Men of Steel prediction, fellas. Now this one's always wide open. It's always tough to pick. Pressure. Who is going to be the Man of Steel come the end of 2022? I'll start with you, CJ. Who's your Man of Steel prediction?
I believe the Man of Steel for the Super League 2022 season will be the Leeds Rhinos halfback Aiden Caesar.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
I think he's in for a massive year, mate. I think he's going to lead that Leeds team around the park. Him and Austin back together, mate. It's a dynamic duo. And really, man, I think Aiden Caesar, man, I think he's in for a huge year. One of the best in his career, I reckon. I rate him really highly this season.
I like that. That's a good prediction. I like it a lot. What about you, ProEnzo Vidz? Man of Steel prediction.
I'll go with the Warriors and halfback, George Williams. I think he's going to have a good season for that club, and we'll keep showing why his quality, why he's one of the best in the game probably. So yeah, George Williams will win it for me.
I like it.
I'm going to go with a guy who's out for the first couple of rounds, but I reckon he'll come back in and absolutely kill it. I'm going with the whole FC fullback / centre, Jake Connor. I think Jake Connor is going to win the Man of Steel this year. I like what whole FC are doing. I think the quality that they have got right now, I think they're building to something special. So I'm going to go with the whole FC fullback, Jake Connor.
Super League's Turbo.
What's that?
Super League's Turbo.
Oh, you could say that.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. All right, let's get into buy of the year prediction, fellas. Who's going to be the best buy of the season? A lot of players have gone to different clubs and shit. Who will be the buy of the season? I'll start with you this time. ProEnzo Vidz, who will be buy of the year?
I reckon Lachlan Coote for Hull KR. I think he'll be a big buy for the club, and I think I miss him heaps at Saints. I wish we really kept him, but yeah, you can't keep everyone, and I think it'll be good for the Hull KR side. I have Hull KR fifth, so that's why, and I rate him really highly this year. So I guess him being at the club, Lachlan Coote will be one of the reasons why he goes so well this year.
I like it a lot. What about you, CJ? Buy of the year.
I'm going for a very bold one. I'm going with the Castleford Tigers signing Jake Mamo.
Oh,
I think he's going to bring a very tremendous rate to that team. The amount of tries he scored for Warrington, I'm still devastated we let him go. I think he's going to be in for a really big year at Castleford, mate, and I'm keen to see him there. That's my
I'm going
big
to go with the Catalan Dragons halfback, Mitchell Pearce. We all know what Pearce can do. We all know what he's about. We all know what he's like. I think Mitchell Pearce is going to be the buy there for Catalans. Now, I know I've got Leeds finishing higher than Catalans, and everyone's going to say, why wouldn't you say Austin and Caesar? Well, I think Mitchell Pearce is going to be very, very influential for Catalans. If he's not there for a game or two, I reckon Catalans could struggle a game without him. So I'm going Mitchell Pearce to be the buy of the season. Now, let's go to the Challenge Cup prediction. The Challenge Cup's always fun, always unpredictable. There's always an upset in the Challenge Cup. It's always a bit of fun. I'll start with you this time, CJ. Challenge Cup prediction. Who do you reckon?
Oh, I'm going with my boys Warrington
Yeah.
to take on Hull KR.
Oh, and who wins? Warrington?
My boys the Wire. I think we're really good when it comes to the Challenge Cup. I think it's a trophy we can actually win. So
It's one thing that you always get up for, so definitely a possibility. Warrington, Hull KR for you with Warrington winning it. Fair point. ProEnzo Vidz, Challenge Cup prediction. Who do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm tossing up between two, actually. I reckon either Warrington or St. Helens or a Rhinos and a Warrington. I think Warrington will be there because they're usually no in there. But, yeah, between those two, I think Saints will be close, and I think also Rhinos will be up there. Hull KR maybe. So, it's a mix of those teams, I reckon, to be up there.
I'm going to go Warrington versus Hull FC, and I reckon Warrington win the Challenge Cup. I think Warrington can win the Challenge Cup this year. I just got a feeling that they're going to win something. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't trust them enough for the Super League just yet, but I think Warrington can win Challenge Cup this year, so I'm going with Warrington.
You're going to win both.
Warrington to beat Hull FC in the Challenge Cup. Now, final prediction, lads. Grand final. What's the grand final going to be in 2022 for the Super League, and who's going to take out the Super League this year? Who's going to take it or who's going to win it? I'll start with you, ProEnzo Vidz. What is the Super League grand final going to be this year, and who wins it?
This is a big call, but I reckon it'll be Catalans versus St. Helens again, but this time Catalans will beat us, I think. It's going to be it's going to be a change this year. I think Catalans might learn a lot from like last year, and they might actually get one over us. So yeah.
That's fair.
So you think it'll be a bit like Melbourne Penrith. Penrith lost to Melbourne, and then Penrith got payback in the finals, sort of thing.
Basically, yeah. That's what I'm basing it off, actually.
Okay, interesting. I like it. That's a very interesting prediction. Grand final rematch, not bad. What about you, CJ? What do you reckon, bro?
Well, obviously, I'll be barracking for my Warrington boys, but I have the Leeds Rhinos taking on the Catalan Dragons in the grand final. Unfortunately, I think Saints will miss out, but honestly, I won't be surprised if they get there. Mitchell Pearce, mate, he's going to lead that Catalans team to a premiership.
Very interesting. I am going with Leeds versus St. Helens, and I'm going to go with Leeds to win the Super League this year. I think it's Leeds' year. I think they've got the right balance. I think they've got the right squad. I think they've got the right players. And in my opinion, Leeds are going to win the Super League in 2022. They're my tip. So
very cool.
I've gone with Leeds to win it. ProEnzo Vidz has gone with Catalans to win it. And CJ, you've gone with Catalans as well.
Yes.
Very, very interesting. But fellas, I reckon that might do it, eh? I reckon it's been a really good show doing the Super League season preview. I mean, it's been a lot of fun.
Cannot wait.
How
it's been
good.
Great, bro.
Well,
thanks for having me.
3 days.
I'd like to thank CJ MOXLEY and ProEnzo Vidz for joining me tonight for the Super League 2022 season preview. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Go and subscribe to CJ MOXLEY's YouTube channel and ProEnzo Vidz's YouTube channel. The links are in the description below. But, guys, the Super League starts Friday morning here in Australia. It's Friday morning, February 11. New South Wales time kicks off at 7 a.m. St. Helens versus Catalans. Cannot wait. I'll be live streaming the game from 7 a.m. It's going to be exciting. I cannot wait for it. Guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. And, mate, it's been a good show. been really good.
Loved it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
No
Thanks,
worries.
Brad.
All right, we're getting out of it. Have a phenomenal Monday night. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe. Have a great night. And before I go, I've got to say this. Come on, the footy! See you later.
Let's go.